Hi, I'm Joanne and welcome to Crafting with Confidence. Today I have something really fun for us to make together. I'm sure you'd agree that an attractive table runner can really add to your dining room table, such as this Christmas themed one I made with you a couple of years ago, or this beautiful spring colored project from last year. While checking out patterns on Etsy recently, I came across and purchased this gorgeous interlocking squares pattern by Perfectly Pash Gifts and knew it was one I needed to make and share with you. The first step will be to choose 3 fabrics you like. I've chosen a vibrantly colored batik for 3 of the sections, a complementary burgundy for the other 2, and a soft cream for the background. I'll bet you're itching to get sewing like I am, but first we'll need to patiently get some ironing and some cutting done. In fairly short order, we'll have all the pieces ready to go. The batik and burgundy squares for the design and some cream squares and triangles for the background. Time to get going on the fun stuff. Using the pattern picture as a guide, arrange the square blocks on a table, a design wall, or the floor, wherever you have the space. Then add in the triangle pieces so you can get a good sense of how the pieces will be going together. I'm loving how this looks so far. After that, remove the triangles for a bit and line up the squares in rows that you can easily sew together with 1/4 inch seams. Here are the first 3 strips sewn together, and soon you'll have all of them ready. Notice that I've pressed the seams for each row in opposite directions. Next, sew each set of 2 bordering strips together, pinning carefully so the seams are nested and taking your time stitching so everything lines up nicely. The more we sew together, the more the pattern starts to jump out. But before we can connect these double strips, we'll need to place the 8 smaller triangles where they belong. When you've lined them up against the double strip they belong to, you can see what we'll be sewing together next. As you line up the triangles for stitching, it's expected that a little point will hang off the end like this. And in a snap, you'll have 6 completed diagonal strips with triangles on the ends. Then you'll sew together groups of 2 to make the 3 sections, and finally you'll join all 3. It's really starting to take shape, isn't it? All that will remain for the top layer will be to sew on the 4 large triangular corners. When you pin them, each end will spill over the edge a bit, and in no time the top will be completed with the design nice and clear to your eye. I'll bet you're feeling a sense of anticipation about getting this done, aren't you? Please press like if this is the case. Now we'll do a little fine-tuning and we'll prepare the quilt sandwich. At this point, the table runner is about 48 inches long and 16.5 inches wide, so you'll need to cut a bit bigger piece of background fabric. I've chosen the batik. Then trim off some of the side bits to even things out and layer the quilt sandwich. After that, pin the layers together securely. My machine quilting plan, starting with the outside edge of the batiks, will be to outline the interlocking squares, first around the outsides and then on the insides. Using a walking foot, of course, I'll take my time with this stitching, lifting the pressure foot whenever I pivot the project. Then I'll remove the pins and we'll cut carefully around the runner, creating nice even edges like this. For the binding, sew together 4 width of fabric strips and press them in half lengthwise, leaving an angled finished edge on one end. Pin that to the project and sew on the binding as you normally would, ending off by hand stitching the back edge of the binding. And here's the completed interlocking squares table runner, a pattern that's so pleasing to the eye. Thanks so much for joining me to create this beautiful table runner. If you're interested in other quilting projects, please check out some of my videos posted here. And as always, know that I encourage you to have the confidence to try something new. I know you'll enjoy the process.